Ladies and gentlemen, if you've ever thought about buying a Prevost, like this beautiful Prevost behind me, there's a problem that could cost you $50,000, and you want to make sure you watch this video to learn all about that problem. There was someone in the comments section on a video that I recently dropped that asked me to talk about delamination, so I'm making this video 100% inspired by that comment. And I greatly appreciate all of you that are commenting and subscribing to the channel. From right here, this coach actually looks like it's in good shape, but this problem that I'm referring to is called delamination. And what happens is,
he said there's two kinds of Prevost XL2, one that has had delamination and one that will have delamination. It used to be it was really close to a $50,000 fix.
These stainless steel panels on the side are basically held by a glue, and something happens with that glue where it causes them to fail, and you're gonna end up with Dlamb like this right here. You can really see it right here. You see how flimsy that is?
Now, in some cases, the Prevost would take care of part of, actually in some of the cases early on, Prevost not only took care of fixing the delamination by putting in those strips. Well, they would rivet it and then put a strip over the top to hide the rivets.
Yeah.
But the real cost was about a $20, $25, even as high as a $30,000 paint job afterwards. And that's why I was quoted on a couple of occasions between $30,000 and $50,000 if I bought one that needed the fix.
This is actually a really common problem, so I'll show you different ways of seeing it. Some of these buses have it and some of them don't have it, and unfortunately all of these tour buses are parked, so really a sad time, but I thought it would be a good day where I could come look at all these coaches, no one's out here, and be able to inspect them for delamination. If you've ever thought about buying a Prevost, you got to think ahead at all of these problems.
They say, well, what they're doing now is they fix as needed. In other words, if there's some delamination, they kind of pull the sides apart, squirt a little glue in there, pop them back together. You might have $6,000 to $10,000 cost. The common one is about $8,000, and then you hope it works.
Hopefully I can help save some people for some headaches with this video. This one, like down here, so these are dents. That's a dent. You can see it's dented in. That's not Dlamb. It looks like it's in pretty good shape. Okay, this one right here, this looks like it's in pretty good shape.
What you got to watch is where it tends to be, it can be a real problem, is underneath the windows, that strip that goes horizontally all the way across. He says that really needs to be sealed up really well if it's going to be outside very much, because the rain, once any moisture gets started in the sides there, somebody has done that, likely they won't have a lot of problems. And they say that some of the ones that have had the permanent fix, they might have to go back and have a little bit of a tweak. But
now the XLs don't have them though. That's why you have an XL.
Yeah, the XLs have no problems whatsoever. They're the riveted coaches. They're what they call the classic.
Yep.
And
yep.
They're the riveted coaches. Of course, the disadvantage there is there were very few of those made with slides. Now I have seen some. It was an old Vogue.
Really?
Maybe a 2000 Featherlight Vogue. I think Featherlight made a couple of them.
Really?
In 2000, yeah.
Oh, that's a rare coach. There's a couple different types of coaches too. These all have the stainless on the bottoms here, but there's another type like this that has the stainless on the top too. So this is going to be much harder to replace because you can get Dlamb all the way through here, through all of these rivets, but you're not going to get Dlamb on an XL2 like this because it's only got the stainless down here. Now this is like a dent right here. That's not Dlamb. From what I've heard, this problem will happen when coaches are about 10 to 15 years old, but it all depends on how much heat they get, whether they're stored indoors. Really depends on the conditions that the bus has over its life to get to this point. So another thing to keep in consideration is when you see these Prevos with the stainless sides, there's actually two types of Prevos that have the stainless sides. Some of the older ones are going to be the XLs, and the XLs are going to have rivets. So the XLs don't have the delamination problem. The XL2s, all of them have the delamination problem from what I've heard. So you can see right here too, it's kind of loose, like when I press on it. See how it's loose, and you can see this right here.
Andrew, bottom line is, if I were to buy an XL2, they're called our no-seam rivets. No-seam rivets. And that's what I would probably want done. But that's your expensive fix. It could be as high as a 50 grand deal, but there was a period of time a few years ago, and maybe 5-6 years ago, where if the coach was not over 10 years old, it was a Prevost, it was on Prevost. They brought him in, and if you were the single owner, if you were the original owner, it was less than 10 years old, you could make an appointment with Prevost. Early on, they did the painting and everything. If you're looking for an XL2, those are the things. If you don't have that done, you got to take 50. If that hasn't been done, there's a bargaining chip in there. You buy the coach for 50 grand less.
Really, this one is really bad. I read on a forum that on a non-slide coach, it costs about $34,000. Now this was like a forum from 2012, so these prices could be changed, and contact Prevost, and I'll try to make some more calls before I upload this video. Drop a comment below if you have more accurate information on the current pricing for Dlamb. But the last forums I've been able to find, they said about $34,000 for Dlamb on a non-slide coach and $37,000 if it's a slide coach.
Again, when I called around, when I was looking to buy an XL2, and I called several Prevost dealerships, not Prevost dealerships, Prevost service centers, and the cost ranged from $30,000 to $50,000 for the complete fix.
Yeah, that's...
Now maybe they've got, but I think that, I think now they're just not doing a complete fix, and they fix as needed type thing.
Yeah, that sounds what it's, because the values of them aren't as much, where when you're spending $50,000, now you're spending a good portion of the value of the coach.
Yeah.
They're not worth $1 million anymore. I was kind of doing some homework on it because one of my subscribers asked me about it, and I'm like, I know the guy that has all of the wisdom in the world on that. So, yeah.
Well, I don't. All I know is kind of things to really watch out for, and and you know what? That's just one of the deals.
Here that has the cool kind of music symbol on it. Like, it has a dent right here, but that's not Dlamb. That's just a dent. Yeah, you can see them. Oh no, actually it has a little bit of Dlamb. It's so common on these buses. These buses are all 10 to 15 years old, and once they get to be around that 15-year-old range, that's when you're going to start to see it. So see how that kind of flexes in here. So this one actually is pretty firm. Like, when I press up on it, there's no flex at all. Feels firm. Okay folks, so if you've ever thought about buying a Prevost, especially an XL2, one of the cool ones with the stainless sides, make sure you check it for Dlamb. You want to see the receipts at who's repaired it, because there's different ways to repair it. I was just hearing that some guys can just kind of get in there and scrape the glue off and then put new glue in there and then clamp it together, and that will at least temporarily patch the problem. But the proper way to do it is to take it to Prevost, have Prevost pull off all of the panels, re-glue everything, and then you're good for another 10 to 15 years. So if that cost is about $35,000, give or take, and it lasts about 10 or 15 years, that's about $2,500 to $3,500 a year that you need to plan on budgeting, that this bus is going to need over its lifetime, just to keep that skin solid and keep it from delaminating. So Hope you all enjoyed today's video. Want to keep things as unbiased and keep you in the loop of all of that. And a huge thanks to the subscriber that mentioned this in the comment below. I want to try to share as much information as possible. So if there's anything cool that you guys think I should make a video out about, or any information that you feel that I should help share with the YouTube world, please drop a comment below. I greatly appreciate all of you subscribing, and I hope you're all having a great day. Thanks again.